So I got online and looked at some pictures of these and discovered where C2 is. So let's get that last cap put in, just here in this little bag. I had to look at the pictures to find it. So there's a set of solder pads right beneath U6 here that end up across the power rail. There's just no silkscreen on it, and the other boards I saw all had a 0.1 microfarad cap there. So I'm confident that's where C2 goes. We'll go ahead and solder this up. So that gets that capacitor in place. The other thing to mention at this point is I have washed the board with flux cleaner and alcohol. With the flux cleaner, I then scrubbed everything front and back with a toothbrush, rinsed it off with alcohol, soaked it in alcohol, scrubbed it again with the toothbrush, and all the stickiness is gone. I think we've got almost all the flux off, if not all the flux. I won't be putting a lot more flux on at this point, unless I think I absolutely need it. So really, I think we can move on to getting these switch banks, and I've played with these a little bit. They are they don't just drop in, they're difficult to line up. The pins coming through for the switch contacts are a little bit finicky. Test a couple of these. They look like they're nice gold plated. The pictures of the insides, there are a couple of stacked springs. They get pushed down into each other to make contact. Yeah, I'm confident these are going to be okay. So I test fit one of these earlier, and really the only way to get it in there was to kind of line it up and then use a screwdriver up underneath to kind of push the leads around, basically until I got them through the solder holes in the PCB. And I can tell you it wasn't easy to do. Partly because of the weird angle that these sit at. Okay. The manual basically said push it down really flush and then make sure you had secured it on the back with the little plastic nuts. And there's only a tiny bit of thread poking up through. So I'm not sure how much I can actually secure that without stripping it. Keep the socket out for now. I think I stripped it. There's just not enough sticking through to really have that do much of any good. Now let's see if I can get a second one in place. You can see that the leads are just kind of floating. I don't know if there's much I can do to attempt to straighten them up any. Well, actually that did help a little bit, maybe. Kind of tweaking those a little straighter. Okay. Well, we know that helps, so we will continue to do that. Of course, this as soon as I can get more of the little plastic nuts out. There's just not much there for that to bite into. On a normal thickness board, there would have been enough here for enough of this, the screw sticking up through, but the nut would actually have a few threads to bite into instead of this just barely. There's just not enough length there to even attempt to screw that on. Seeing if I can make these look a little straighter. Is flush. The little wire leads coming off the switches poke through at a bunch of different lengths. Of course, it's so hopefully these are still making good contact inside. Oh, please. Oh, sorry about that. I bumped the camera. As you could probably tell. I wish there was more than just solder kind of holding these in place, but I really can't get the little nuts to seem to start on most of these. Okay, we have one more row to go. And I need the other glasses so I can actually see up underneath it. Not enough there to really bite onto. Nope. That did not seem right. Okay, the lead is there. These did me pretty much almost no good. however, are these. Where's the screwdriver I've been using for this? Got one there. And one there. No, there's going to be more holes. There's one. Here, if we can actually use it, which we can't, it's we'd have to rotate the connector to get that to clear. Those are power. That's the plus 25. Well, for now, that gets us a pretty good run of them. Get the rest back in the bag. And move on to this. A, guessing that's 0, 4. That makes that 9. Nice. From program, register examine. Cassette load. Set a breakpoint for examine. IC list, which is here and here. But I think the next thing to immediately do is to apply power. And just make some quick measurements around the board. Make sure we've got power kind of in the places we should have power. Hopefully I can find a cable that'll be long enough. Let's 5-volt 3-amp. Nope, that's damaged. And of course it's not going to be long enough. Great. Don't have anything I can easily clip onto. Well, shoot. I'm just going to have to, for now, yeah, it's very temporary, but it'll do the job. Just something I can clip into. As always, space is at a premium. Never have enough. So let's see. Let's turn. That's supply 3 on. We should have 5 volts in the system at this point. Switch to volts here. Get ourselves a ground. And take a look at a few places. +5, +5, +5. So all these TTL devices down here at least have +5 to them. I don't remember the pin out of the Z80s. It actually, it's probably not +5 then there. But it's interesting, it's 4.4 something. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. There's 5 volts getting to all the places I would expect to see 5 volts. And there's this 4.8 stuff that, Well, it is time to reference the manual. There's a schematic in here someplace. Actually, what would be better is to actually reference a printout of the manual, because I actually have enlarged schematics I've printed out, which for my old eyes makes things a lot easier. Cannot spot the glasses. See, for the Z80, I have +5. Doesn't show in the friggin' schematic. But for the 2102s, well, again, he hasn't indicated power on this page itself. Cassette and keyboard. There's not a sheet to indicate power distribution. I don't see. No, such is life. Okay, that didn't do me much good. Turn the power off here. Well, I'll tell you what, let's wrap this one up. It's gone on long enough, and we'll get the IC stuff in the next video.